Here we are, second half. Avalos is a Mexican-American artist and San Antonio native. His art is simply a visual language used to connect the city's vibrant culture in the most positive light. You might know as Mr. Piñata essay, initially created as a research tool for a children's book in 2013, but it evolved into an initiative to bring fine art to public places in an effort to create cultural art awareness. Mr. Piñata essay, aka Avalos, is now an ambassador of San Antonio, and his adventures have taken him across the United States to promote our city on the rise. Shout out trademark. It's fine. Ladies and gentlemen, Avalos, Mr. Hold on, Piñata. I can't do it. Essay, get up here.
See, it's a little, I'm not that tall, I'm like everybody else. Wow, I can't see anything, I just see a bright light in my face. But I'm real excited to be here, and thank you, yeah. It's been great just trying to bring art into public places, and I'm going to get to tell you about how Mr. Piñata happened. It never was really going to be a Mr. Piñata thing, it was something else, but it's not what you do, but it's why you do it, and the cultivation of those things will produce things that are even greater. So I'm going to get to show and talk about my project, and I do need my notes. Alright. My love for my city led me to pursue creating a work of art that the whole city could enjoy. I believe that artists can lead the way in a new developing world by creating artwork that inspires cultures, cities, and hopefully a nation. I began a journey to answer the question, what is the purpose of art in society? I believe art should inspire humanity in a positive way and connect to every race, culture, and financial demographic. Therefore, it should be social and it should take place in public. What could I possibly create that would engage, inspire, and express love for my city? I didn't know what it would be at first, but I did know that Fiesta would be the perfect place for a Fine Arts in Public Places initiative, with the intentions of engaging people of San Antonio with art. This was a picture of me in 2012. My brilliant idea was to make a giant floating piñata using helium balloons. My plan was to float this burro piñata over the crowds at Nyosa, above the river, and over the Alamo. However, my efforts produced a floating screen print. Not quite what I had in mind, nor the impact. But I thought the idea of a floating piñata that went on adventures would make a great story. He would come to life and make friends with humanity, but how would people treat a living piñata, I wondered? There was only one way to find out. My research to find out how people would treat a living piñata led me to become one. It was also the second chance to create a work of art that I could take into public that would hopefully engage and inspire my city. In 2013, Mr. Piñata made his first Fiesta appearance during the opening night of Nyosa. Yes, the fear of being hit was present, but I knew a fun adventure with much greater purpose was set before me. Within moments of entering Nyosa, the positive connection to humanity through art was fully realized. The impact was far beyond what I anticipated. It was like watching a kid on Christmas Day. Hundreds of people smiling from ear to ear made me one happy piñata, and the fear of being hit was completely overcome. The excessive happiness that people express by engaging with my work has given me the satisfying and humbling experience as an artist. It has also been an overwhelming motivation to continue I consider Mr. Piñata's responsibility with many opportunities to do good. However, the story has changed to the adventures of Mr. Piñata. Mr. Piñata's essay has become a fine arts in public places initiative as a purposeful act of culture that represents the beautiful city, the thriving Mexican-American art culture, and the vibrant San Antonio art community. My adventures have taken me to the beautiful beaches of Puerto Rico and to the ski slopes in Colorado. I could only laugh and smile when I hear gritos of approval while skiing down the mountain, coming from every direction while skiing. I have also discovered natural land monuments of my ancient ancestors. Okay, maybe not, but I have learned that it's not about the destination, but it's about the journey and the moments in time that we get to share with humanity. My favorite moment was in New Orleans. I was walking down the street when I heard, "Hey, Mexican!" I didn't think anything of it first, but until I heard it again, "Hey, Mexican!" I laughed and realized that must be me. It was at that time I finally realized that I was a cultural ambassador, and that was the person who called me out. Since then, I've done my very best to spread a positive message during city events. Love Wins has been a major campaign for me. In 2015, Mr. Piñata SA and friends were able to give away 100 posters at the MLK March by doing fundraising. I've invested much time into the beautiful city by making appearances at schools and community events. I've worked with the Salvation Army, the Fisher House, San Antonio Children's Museum, St. PJ's, and others to enrich the lives of the people in San Antonio. The beauty of living is being an asset to your immediate surroundings. I believe investing into humanity produces huge returns, even if you're not there to reap the harvest. You have the power to help a child, your neighbor, the homeless, and yes, you can help Mr. Piñata. As humans, we have an innate desire to find happiness. I heard Tony Robbins say that happiness comes from doing more for others than you can do for yourself. We are here to build each other up and not tear people down. My work is all about people. And you people, and I do mean you people of San Antonio, are the most beautiful and wonderful people that I have ever had the opportunity and privilege of sharing my artwork with. Seeing hundreds of beautiful smiles has truly been the most valuable reward that I've ever received through my art. I am so thankful to call San Antonio home, and I firmly believe we are a city on the rise. And together, we can accomplish wonderful things for a much greater good to help others. Thank you.
Don't run away from me. Stand right here.
All right.
Before you were Mr. Piñata, what did you do?
What do you mean?
What did you do? Like, how did you come to love your city so much that you were like, I'm going to be a living, breathing Piñata?
Well, I was a visual artist, and coming from the southwest side, moving down. Yeah,
Shout out.
Yeah, shout out southwest.
To the 4 people that are from here.
Yeah.
Nicely
It's
done.
all right.
That's
We're
cool.
here. So, the vibrant art community, accepted my work, my early works when I was making like the fashion show out of money dresses and an art piece called The Last Sopa where I put the Last Supper superimposed in a Fideo box and taking like the Andy Warhol soup cans and putting bean and cheese culture, manteca culture, and so thank you. So all these works really, or all my work from the very beginning has tried to create like a cultural art education for the city of San Antonio, for people who are maybe more unaware. And so every time I would create a work, it was always trying to connect maybe like pop art culture with San Antonio culture and somehow, you know, blend them to impact our city.
But,
All right, go ahead.
that's all right. You can applaud that. But why? I'm like, hold on, because I'm getting deep. That's what she said. Why did you decide, like, this is the thing that I'm going to do? Like, I want to make an impact on San Antonio. This is the thing I want to do. I want to promote our city on the rise. Why?
Well, my upbringings is that I grew up in the church and Christian conservative. My uncle preached with Billy Graham and the great evangelist. So once I discovered, you know, my love for God and my love for people.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, it was always about people.
Okay.
And so that was the biggest insulation that I learned from my bringing. But it was kind of the evangelist thing, I think, from my family that gave me the inspiration of being a cultural visual art evangelist.
What are you going to do when you're...
Evangelism of the arts.
No, I love it.
Yeah.
What are you going to do when you are not Mr. Pinata? Like, what do you do? Like, how long does this last? What do you go next?
Well, I want to do the most good that I can for my city. So
Okay.
I'm currently working on an anti-bullying campaign for schools called Piñatas Against Violence. It's all about what's on the inside. Each and every one of us has something of value that we can bring to each other, and it's about noticing our values and not our differences. That'll make a better society, and I believe that if I could take that message to the schools and to the kids, then we can create a better school, we can create a better city.
You are aware, nicely done, aware of the irony behind piñatas being against violence.
Well, that's why I'm against violence.
All right, solid. Have you ever been hit for real as a piñata?
No, I have never been hit for real as a piñata.
That's basically an invitation to you, is what I'm saying, PechaKucha people. No, I'm just kidding. We're against violence.
That's right. We're here to build each other up, not tear people down.
I like it. I like it. When you were screamed at in New Orleans, Noah, hey
Okay.
Mexican,
Sure.
were you upset by that? Because sometimes I get hey lesbian with the awkward last name. And I'm like, hey, awkward.
Well, to be honest, I mean, I've been wearing the piñata suit.
Truth.
It wasn't my first rodeo.
Right.
So I didn't think twice of it. I was ready to go.
You're like, shut up.
Yeah, no, I was on my way to a great breakfast place that I like to go. And then he said, hey, Mexican. I said, oh, wait, that must be me. And it was a street performance, and it was so great because he then stopped and got off his stand and was like, hey, he wanted me to stand on his stand and perform like the other New Orleans street artists, so it was really cool. And the city of New Orleans really loved Mr. Piñata the most, as far as any of the places that I've gone,
Yeah.
but nobody loves Mr. Piñata like San Antonio.
True. Avalos, Mr. Piñata. That's it. Thank you, Ronnie.